Library Connection. I'm Mandy Cantrell from the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I want to thank TV47 and Chris for allowing us to do this program and helping us with all the pictures and everything we have going on. So thank you so much, TV47 and Chris. All right, today, summer reading programs begin today at the library, and I am so excited. I've been planning these for months and months, and our very first performer, Lew-E the Clown, is joining me this morning. Thank you.
Here.
Yeah.
It's summer reading. I'm awake now. It's really early. Chris has got me way up early. Miss Mandy's got me up early. I'm usually not this beautiful this early in the morning, but I'm here. I'm excited.
I'm so glad. I know you had to come early for TV, and I do appreciate it.
But it was worth it. It was worth it. Yeah.
Good. It will be.
I think so.
Well, you are our kickoff program. I'm very excited.
Just for clarification, I do not kick children. That's not what we do. Kickoff does not mean I kick kids. It means the start of the summer reading programs. Thank you.
I should have clarified that.
That's
Sorry
right.
about that. Yeah. Well, tell us, who is Lew-E the Clown?
He's a jerk. Yeah. No, actually, Lew-E is a character that I've been portraying since I was 3 years old. I'm 31 now, so this has been 28 years of my life. This is all I've ever done with it. I know. Mom would be so proud. But no, yeah, I know. He's a fun character that just is all about empowering children to do the impossible and to be what they want to be, and yeah, and it's really just an extension of me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you are so good. I know when you came in, I said Lew-E's show is, oh, there you are. Let's look at that right quick.
That's me.
Who is that?
I was 6 years old. That's my first promo picture I think I ever had. We went to Olin Mills. You should have seen those people when I walked through the door. They were like, they don't know what to do with this ugly child.
Oh, so this is you as a little boy.
When I was 6, yeah. So this was about 3 years into this journey. This was about the point that my family decided this wasn't a phase.
Okay.
Yeah, they thought it was just a phase. And then when we got into this part, they were like, okay, this is just a weird kid. Yeah.
So you're one of those people that loves to be in front of the crowd and entertain, love to hear the laughter and the interaction.
Yeah, for the most part, but Lew-E is. But Lee, who I am, I like sitting in a corner and just kind of enjoying and I people watch. That's how I learn and how I create and build the comedy. Is I like my favorite places are airports and malls, and I like to go to theme parks and just people watch, because you learn a lot about people and how they interact, and you learn mannerisms and moves and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So I really enjoy people watching.
A lot of comedy just in real life. Watching.
Yeah. That's where I think about the best part of comedy comes from, is just from real life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I just really enjoy your show. You are high energy. The kids are always involved in it. They're very engaged, and you're just hilarious.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll pay you later. But
that would be good.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. It's been a lifelong journey to get to where I'm at today. It's kind of wild.
Wow. Well, what is that story? Have you always been a performer, or did you have I guess what we say, a regular job?
No, I've never done anything else other than what you see. I started when I was 3 years old. I grew up in a little town called High Falls, Georgia. If you know where that is, I'll be shocked. But High Falls, Georgia, and we got on the TV stations this satellite program from Chicago. It was the WGN Super Sunday Bozo Show, and we get to watch it every Sunday. And Joey Diaria played Bozo. Oh yeah, there I am. I was 3.5, 4 here at this time. My mother had no idea how to do clown makeup, and every person that would come up to me thought I was the cutest girl they'd ever seen. Yeah, they would pinch my cheeks and go, "Your daughter is so cute," and I would grimace and just go, "Thank you, I appreciate the compliment."
I'm sorry, but
yeah, since I was, we watched WGN Super Sunday Bozo Show, and Joey Diaria was playing Bozo, and Robin Urich was on the show as the handyman, Rusty the handyman, and I remember watching that show and looking at my father saying, I want to be a clown, and I want to make people happy at 3.
Okay, wow.
And my dad, who ran a trucking company, and my mom, who was just a stay-at-home mom, my dad took it to heart, because that was just a profound thing for a 3-year-old kid to say.
Yes.
And so every moment, pretty much after that, was dedicated to going and doing and eating, breathing, living, walking, talking, sleeping, clowning.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really wild, and had I not had or the supportive parents that I have, I wouldn't have been able to do I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this conversation most likely.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had to learn magic tricks,
Well,
things like that.
you learn
makeup.
magic trick, you learn makeup application, you learn how to build props, costuming, unicycling, stilt walking, tumbling, all kinds of stuff, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of tools that go into a clown's tool bag. And you may not use all those tools, but it's nice to know how in case you need them.
That's great. So you've been doing this a long time, and
yeah,
I'm sure
probably
your show
too long.
has changed. No, not too long. I know your show has changed over the years with different tricks
in
and
terms
things.
of summer reading, it changes every summer because our national collaborative theme changes, and you know, this year it's centered around kindness and working together. And next year it's going to be about adventure. So I'm already working on writing the next adventure show.
Good.
So every summer for summer reading it changes, and for my Lew-E's Comedy Circus show that I perform at state and county fairs, that show shifts pretty much every summer too. I have what I call my A show, which is the same show every year. People love seeing that. They love seeing the things I do. But then I rewrite what I call the B and C shows, and I add in stuff so I can make it fun and exciting and interchangeable for me. Oh,
and there you are.
I am. That's me when I was on the road with the Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers Circus. I was I worked in the Big Top, and then I was also hired to be their advanced clown.
Okay.
So an advanced clown is basically I worked in media and promotions.
Okay.
So in 2011, right after I graduated high school, I was hired on to be the advanced clown. I did 1,700 appearances all up and down the East Coast.
Wow.
All the way up as far north as Vermont, and all the way back down to the tippy tip of Florida. So
at 18 or 19, your age?
I was,
oh, my goodness.
19. You know, I graduated in 2010. I went on the road in April of 2000. Yeah, it's just, it was right there together. So I try not to think about it. It all just runs. And those appearances were anything from just popping in somewhere and saying hi and doing a TV interview like this to doing school and promotional shows with 1,700 kids in the audience. It just really depends. And you never knew. Every day I would get up, I wouldn't know what I was going to do until I stepped out the door with the marketing director and he gave me my sheet. So I was always prepared for battle.
You have to be prepared.
That's right.
Well, I can tell you love what you do.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I genuinely love people, and I enjoy spending time with people and sharing what it is that I do with people. Right. And oh yeah, there you go. That was me when I was. I would go into radio stations and do radio interviews.
Oh.
And again, with these radio interviews, you never knew what you were walking into. This particular one, we had an interesting disc jockey who didn't like clowns. He was used to the clowns before me coming in and being very dry and not very funny, and that's
not a clown.
I know, I know. So when I showed up to this radio station, he said, "You get 2 minutes. That's it. All you get to do is talk for 2 minutes. Then I need you to get out of here." I said, "Okay." So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this guy really, he irritated me telling me that, because I was like, yeah, be a little respectful. So I was like, I know how I'm going to fix this guy. So they make a special ring in magic that you can place on your finger, and it has a little lever that fits inside, or a little button that fits inside your palm. And when you press it, it shoots sparks out of your hand. It doesn't hurt you, it just shoots sparks.
How cool.
And for some reason, I had one of those rings in my hand that day. And I stepped into that radio station, and he goes on, "Hi, we're here with from WWW, and we're here with Lew-E the Clown." And just as he said that, I reached up to adjust the microphone. I pushed the button, sparks flew everywhere. My head hit the table. I fell down to the ground. And he went, "Oh my goodness, I've killed the clown. We'll be back after these messages." Beep. The marketing director had no idea what I did. So the marketing director comes running in. He sees me laying on the ground. He and the disc jockey start arguing with each other. Nobody's asked me if I'm okay. So we are now clearly past my 2-minute mark that I was only given. And so finally I get up and I go, "Is anybody going to ask if I'm okay?" And he goes, "Oh my gosh, you're okay." I go, "I'm fine." He goes, "How did you, what?" And I said, "It's just this ring." So I wound it back up and showed him, and I said, "Here, this is a gift to you from the circus." We left the radio station 5 hours later. We canceled the rest of the appearances.
Goodness.
So what was going to be a 2-minute spot, we wound up staying for 5 hours and playing and having a good time, and I kind of took over his radio station. It was a great day. Yeah.
That is great. Wow. Well, listen, we're going to pause for a commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Lew-E the Clown.
Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
The all-new Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our remodeled and expanded pharmacy gives us the space to serve more patients. We've added a drive-through window for those times when you don't feel like getting out of your vehicle. And we still offer delivery within city limits. We feature a full line of over-the-counter medications and supplements. And don't forget our stunning new gift department. New building, same great people. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Lew-E the Clown from Georgia. He's come to do our first program today, our kickoff program.
That's right. Not kicking, but kick off.
Our beginning program, and I am so excited. We've had you at our library before, and the children just loved it.
We've worked together for many years now. Yeah.
And you mentioned the ring that shoots sparks.
Right.
Where do you get this? I mean, do you have to build it? Do you have
Amazon. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's not Amazon.
You can get Amazon.
Well, you can
Amazon.
get some things off Amazon. There's a lot of different places that a lot of people get tricks. We have creators, which one of my most favorite and one of the most famous creators of children's magic has actually performed at your library before. His name's Barry Mitchell, Mr. Barry. He brings Sam the turtle and Hyena the chicken. And the kids absolutely love him. And even Tommy Johns has created some effects that he sells. And so, you know, we really have a tight little world here of creators and makers. And we all, you know, kind of chip in our brain trust and come up with stuff. Or we build it. If we can't find it, we build it ourselves. And or we make it ourselves. See, like I brought something to show you.
Oh, okay.
There's these two they're balloons. You know, they're just balloons tied in a loop. But here's what's crazy is if you take the balloons and you put them like this, watch, it'll go from there to there. Watch, just like that, it jumps. It's crazy. I know.
Okay.
This is what I couldn't figure out. See, there was a book at your library this morning that I was checking out before I came over here. And if I found out if I lock it in with that yellow one and I do like that, it still jumps to the other side. It's wild, blows my mind. But what really got me is when I got to the special page of the book, if you take these two little balloons like that and you heat them up and you pull them 1, 2, 3 times, watch what happens. It's wild. Yeah, they see, I don't understand it. It's just how this works. It drives me crazy.
I'm watching close up. I have no clue how that happens.
I couldn't tell you either.
Fun.
But so, you know, my thing is always finding things that children don't expect or that families haven't seen before, because what I try to do is my shows, I write them to be geared for, say, 11 and up.
Okay. Because
I want adults and preteens and teenagers to come sit in my show, because they're all going to come with my show that this is a preconceived notion of, oh, this is just a clown, it's going to be boring. But if I can get anyone from 11 to the adults hooked into my show to put down the cell phone and go, oh, this was not what we expected it to be, I know the kids are going to be hooked.
There's a fan of yours right there.
That's Rosie. She is a blind child in Clay County, Florida. And Rosie is probably one of my biggest friends. I don't call her a fan because she's a friend now. But Rosie and I have been friends for quite a few years now. And every time she comes to the fair, one of the first things she looks for is her friend Lew-E. And so we have to go get our hug together, and we have to go ride a ride or eat a funnel cake. That girl can down a whole funnel cake on a fairground by herself. Don't you dare touch it. You'll come up without a digit. It just will happen.
No. Well, I know since you do fairs, and you do fairs also, so you do libraries.
I do libraries just in the month of June when I can fit them in my schedule, and then the rest of the year from pretty much February all the way to November is fairs. I do anywhere from 22 to 30 fairs a year, which when you add it all up, because you're doing 2 and 3 and 4, yep, there's my trailer that I set up, my backdrop. When you add it all up and you're doing anywhere from 2 to 4 shows a day at fairs, it's sometimes 600 shows a year, depending on how many fairs I have in the calendar. And it's a busy schedule, but I absolutely love it. And I grew up on the fairgrounds. Those pictures we saw earlier of me, not the promo picture, but there was one when I was about 3 or 4, were taken on a fairgrounds. There was a gentleman named Hugh McNair and his daughter Lisa McNair. They ran McNair Amusements. And then Lisa is still carrying on the family tradition, but that's where I got my roots, was on the carnival grounds. And my dad would go and help out in the fry stand, or Mom would sell funnel cakes. In fact, I would even become a game hawker. I would, run some games for them, throwing the darts when I was like 6 or 7. And so I fell in love with the carnival industry at that point, and that's always been a part of my life. Setting up rides, tearing them down, moving, but now just the performing part. And there's a lot of people that say, well, if you've been to one fair, you've been to them all. That's not the case. Every fair has something that is very unique and very special about them. That's true. And that's what makes it fun for me.
That's fun. That's fun. What do you do during the Christmas season?
Oh, well, I actually am a very, very close personal friend of Santa Claus. So he and I travel down to Miami, and he enjoys spending the Christmas season down there, and he works there, and he works for celebrities and corporate parties. And then he drags me along as his helper elf to the Atlantis Resort, because he goes to the Atlantis Resort and spends a few days there right before Christmas, before we send him back off to the North Pole to get ready to deliver toys. He's a pretty cool guy. He's a lot of fun at Christmas time.
I bet.
He eats a lot of milk and cookies,
He does.
Yeah, it's a pretty big habit. Big habit.
That's so fun. That's fun. We're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Lew-E.
Maybe.
Yes.
The Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center, located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
Coosa Valley Medical Center, one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama, is also Sylacauga's largest employer. Services from the emergency room to surgery to cancer treatment to post-stroke care. You won't believe what's right in your backyard. It's Coosa Valley Medical Center in Sylacauga. So, if you're sick in Alabama, choose one of the top 10 hospitals in Alabama. That is Coosa Valley Medical Center.
The all-new Marble City Pharmacy in Sylacauga is your destination for the highest quality health care. Our remodeled and expanded pharmacy gives us the space to serve more patients. We've added a drive-through window for those times when you don't feel like getting out of your vehicle. And we still offer delivery within city limits. We feature a full line of over-the-counter medications and supplements. And don't forget our stunning new gift department. New building, same great people. Marble City Pharmacy, here for life.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Lew-E the Clown, Lee Andrews. I never call you by your real name.
Nobody ever does. No, not even my wife. I can't say what she calls me. That would not be kosher. No.
Well, now, where can we find out where you're going to be?
So if you go to www.comedycircusshow.com, and you click on that little schedule tab, it's got my schedule for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years up there. Or if you go to Lew-E's Comedy Circus on Facebook, Lew-E, because I have to spell it differently than everybody else. Lew-E's Comedy Circus, my schedule is posted weekly there, so you can see where I'm at, how I'm traveling, and all that kind of stuff.
You travel all over?
Everywhere. Anywhere they have money, I go there. I can be bought. I can. I'm going as far north as Canada, the Canadian border this year in Wisconsin, all the way over to Minnesota, and I'm all over the place.
Wow. Are you able to take your family with you, or sometimes?
Oh, sometimes they come and visit. My wife is a very successful nurse practitioner who I'm very proud of. And we have a 2-year-old daughter named Mackenzie. I have a 6-year-old son named Ashton. So Ashton's with me all summer, traveling around. And Mackenzie, she's a little too bougie to travel with Daddy. She's a little extra posh. So she stays home with Mom. But they come out pretty regularly and visit.
Good. And your wife makes all your costumes.
She does. She makes all of my costuming, and God help her. But she does. She sews it all, and she does a great job. I'm really thankful and appreciative that she does that for me.
That's great. It's nice to have the support of family.
It is. She's very supportive and very understanding, because I'm on the road about 300 days a year, and it takes a very supportive person to do that. I love you if you're listening. She'll probably never listen to this. Oh,
no. Now, one thing I've noticed, all of you guys that come to our library and perform, y'all seem to be friends.
We are. We're thick as thieves. You know, especially during the summertime when we're all grinding and working hard. We're on the phone talking to each other in between libraries. We try to keep up with each other's schedules so we can go see one another or stop and share a meal. And, you know, my best friend in the entire world is Doc Magic, Dr. Magic Balloons, Dwayne Reynolds. He's truly one of a kind, and Dwayne and I talk 5 or 6 times a day. We had dinner yesterday before I came here. We're going to have dinner again tonight. And so we just all kind of talk together and try to work out our schedules to see each other.
That is so fun, because y'all are you're not competing for libraries,
no,
but
we're really not. There's enough work for everyone out there. One of my closest friends, Ron England, you saw at a showcase. That's how I got into this, probably 7, 8, 9 years ago. Ron gave up his slot at the showcase for me to perform in front of you all.
I remember that. He got, and I love Ron, but he got up and he said, you know me, I'm Ron, but I want to give my time to,
he did.
You were new, sort of new getting into
it was just dipping my toe in the water, and I think at that showcase, just from his one act of kindness, I walked away with like 30 programs for that summer in the state of Alabama. It was mind-blowing. And so Ron England, I owe a lot for what I do here in the library market to Ron.
Wow. Well, it's great that y'all are all supportive, and you're all when they all get together, it's hilarious.
It is. It's pretty funny.
Oh, wow. What is your favorite story from your shows, circus days?
Oh, sure. So when I was on the road with the circus, being the advanced clown, one of my jobs was to give tours to children when they would come to the circus grounds. So sometimes I'd be 2 hours away, but I'd have to drive back to the show to give these tours. And one day we had a school group, and as we were touring the back lot of the circus, we get around, and one of our tiger trainers, she had just had a baby tiger. And I had asked her, could she show us the baby tiger? And she said sure. So she showed all these children this baby tiger, and they were just so enthralled and thought it was the cutest thing ever. Well, as we were leaving, she comes up and she puts her hand on the shoulder and she says, "Don't be alarmed, but Mama has gotten out, and we have got to find her." And I said, "Oh, sure, I'm not going to be alarmed." So we had to find Mama Tiger. So in back of my mind, I'm going, what do I do with a group of about 60 kids? We take them to the big top. That way we can keep them all, and I'll do a magic show. And so we go to the big top, we're doing a show, and there's this little child about 5 minutes in that keeps raising her hand. And I'm going, hold questions till the end of the show. You know, just hold. Well, she keeps doing this. So finally, I give her about 8 minutes doing that. And I said, "Yes, sweetie, you apparently have a very important question." She goes, "Mr. Lew-E?" I go, "Yeah." She says, "Do you have puppets in the circus?" And I go, "No, we don't have. No, there's no puppets." She goes, "Well, there's like a really realistic tiger puppet over there in that bleacher section." And I turned around, and sure enough, Mama Tiger was just laid up in the bleacher section like nobody's business, just relaxing, waiting for the show to start. And in my mind, I'm going, I look like a T-bone probably to this tiger. But truthfully, what a lot of people don't understand is the circus animals that we have are always more well taken care of than us adults. Probably, and they are so well respected. And of course, have there been bad apples? Absolutely. Sure. But those people aren't around anymore. But in this particular instance, this was the most sweetest Mama Tiger on the face of the planet. The trainer came in, was able to get her, and it was just like a kitty cat, a puppy dog on a leash. And so, you know, that Mama Tiger come right over. I was able to pet her and show the children just how nice she was, and she went back to her home, and that was it. But for a split second, I thought, man, I am clown. am really glad clowns taste funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's funny now. Now it's funny at the time.
Yeah, and then about a week later, the new iPhones had came out, and we had a elephant named Viola, and I was talking to my wife, and as I'm talking to my wife, Viola was very annoyed that I wasn't paying her any attention.
Oh, okay.
So she reached out, grabbed my brand new iPhone, and she put it down on the ground, and I said, Viola, don't you dare. She lifted up her foot and smashed my brand new iPhone, right? I couldn't talk to my wife for like 5 hours. She was very, very, very worried that something had happened, and she didn't believe that an elephant had smashed my cell phone.
I wouldn't believe that story.
I know. You should see the Verizon people when you take it in to try to get a new phone. It's literally, yeah.
So during your shows at libraries and fairs, you have to be able to be flexible, right?
That's right.
Just adapt and change at a moment's
Kind of,
notice.
sort of. You know, there's a path of show. I want to do A, B, C, and D.
Right.
But sometimes, you know, C may have to come before A, and D may have to come before F or G, and you know, it's kind of one of those moving puzzle pieces. But that way, you keep all the children of all ages engaged and enthralled in what you're doing, and nobody gets bored.
Well, you always do. I can tell you. You're just funny. I usually tell people you juggle some too, don't you?
I jiggle, good, yeah.
You juggle.
Yeah, I jiggle, really. But I do. I juggle. I do. Look, I had a well-balanced breakfast this morning.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
you could do that. Yeah. Or. But yeah, I do a little bit of everything. The main thing is, if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. And that's kind of my rule of life, too. If it's not fun, I don't want to do it.
Oh, wow. Well, that's great. I know I was telling people, I said, when you see Lew-E, I said, he's probably going to juggle something and hit himself in the head with
Probably.
it. And all the kids just laughed.
This is not a real nose, by the way. This is a nose protection device for flying objects. Always know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if a clown tells you they have a real red nose, they are weird. Stay away.
Oh, my. Well, and I know we've only got a minute or so left. Kids are sometimes afraid of clowns.
I'm afraid of them, too.
Have you found any kids afraid of you?
No, none of me, but I totally can understand why children are afraid of clowns. And it can be improper training. It could be, you know, just a fifth sense that they have about that person. But I totally understand it. But if someone is doing it from the heart and they're a genuinely good person, you have absolutely no reason to be afraid of them. But if you got a gut feeling, follow that feeling and just say hi from afar. And move on. You'll be fine.
Well, you don't have the painted face and all of that.
Just a beard and a mustache. This is what I call my Doc Magic look.
Oh,
you know, I have to keep up with
you
Dwayne and his coolness. But yeah, I give up the makeup when I left the circus, and mainly just because of the schedule. You know, the makeup, when you powder it, you can go swimming, you can jump in the shower. You can it won't come off until you put something greasy or oily on the makeup. But once I left the circus, I didn't see a need for the makeup and the schedule that we keep. I couldn't do touch-ups or anything. I was like, put that to the side. As long as I've got funny-looking shoes and a big nose, people will recognize me as a clown.
Wow. Well, you are just wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's
we
my
are
pleasure.
out of time, but I know if you don't catch him at our library, you'll catch him at another place.
That's right. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what I tell all the kids at the end of the show.
Well, thank you, Lew-E, for joining us, and thank you for joining me on Library Connection.